Today is the day that Pico, oh my gosh. Honey, did you have to do that? Okay, well Pico is going to his new home. So let's load him up on the trailer. Honey just really loves her friend Pico. She wants to go with him. She wants to hang out with him, but that's okay. You're about to move, go back in the goat place, and you're gonna have friends, Pico. You're gonna go with your brother Pretzel. You're gonna meet Buck and Eli. All right, big boy. It's just about an hour drive. You'll be fine. And the grand.
Big money, big money, big money.
Pico.
Come on, big boy.
Good job. There we go. See, it's okay. There we go. Your brothers are up here.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
I'm gonna leave this halter on just for a second, but don't leave it on all night. Uh-oh. Here comes trouble. They're all coming to see you, Pico. Eli's in the front, Buck's in the middle, Pretzel's in the back. Pretzel is Dolly's baby from 3 years ago. So this is actually Pico's brother. Pico, it's your people. They're your people. They look like you. Look. They're your friends. They look just like you. Oh, look at him clacking a little bit. Look at your friends. His little tail wagging like a dog. He's so tiny comparatively. Oh, I can't get over how cute this is. I hope him and Pretzel are besties. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna let them have a moment through the fence. Then we're gonna let most likely Pretzel, but maybe Buck over here and have one-on-one time for probably the whole night before he gets introduced to anyone else. And then y'all can follow Nate and Macy to watch all the rest of the introductions. Pico is kind of just starting to mosey around. I saw him took a few little bites of grass. They're all not gonna leave him alone. Okay, who do you want your first night partner to be? Buck or Pretzel? Who we think? Okay, donkey boys. One of you needs to go with Pico. So let's go this way. Whoever gets first to the gate wins. Pretzel's being all kinds of rank. All right, who will it be? Who wants the first intro? So Eli wanted to be the first one, which he's the older one. He's probably gonna give him some corrections just to kind of set the mood. He's raised a couple young boys at this point. What do you think? Look how much smaller Pico is. What do you think? Those were not even kicks. He's just like, hey little boy, don't be getting in my space. Do some clacking, Pico, let him know. Let him know you mean no harm. You're not here to take his alpha gig. You know, the other two are quite young, whereas Eli's like in his 20s. He's been there, done that. He's dealt with the other two when they were growing up. So you saw all those little corrections and he literally never even touched him. Buck, remember when you came to my house and failed at your job? You were supposed to make babies. Pico was supposed to be your son. We're gonna kind of let Pico and Eli make a friendship, whether that's just Eli tolerating Pico or what. We just want him to have somebody to hang with, and then he can meet his brother and Buck. We just don't want them ganging up on him, you know? You got some grass? You eating some grass? You seem pretty chill. Okay, well, we've got to beat some traffic. We're gonna head back, but you wanna follow Nate and Macy. They will be kind of integrating him with their donkeys all weekend, making sure he's comfortable and settling in. He's not far from home, and I'm just a short phone call away if anything's needed, but stay tuned for more of him and Eli. Eli is being a nice older teacher, and then for when he meets his brother and Mr. Buck. Happy is 322 days pregnant today. Now, she's a little grumpy pants, so I'm gonna see if the trick of having her in the wash bay, like it did with Annie, I'm hoping that this will allow me to check her milk pH. As of yesterday, it was starting to have a cloudy look to her milk, And because it's the weekend and I'm trying to, you know, figure out if I need help and things like that, we're gonna see if she has any changes. So you keep them legs planted, okay? You keep the feet planted. Let's look at your titties. I don't see any visible wax, maybe a little bit on that right one, but they are very engorged. Don't you cock your hip at me. I wonder if she's like Annie, where it's a specific side. Woo! Okay, it took me a second, but we got it. It's still pretty green today. It still very much looks like 7.25. So I don't think we're like in the next day or two. I mean, I could be wrong. Now, she does look like a hippo these past couple days. She's very uncomfortable. She has been laying down a whole lot, rolling a whole lot. She's crabby. I don't think we're like far off. I think we're within a week. But I don't think we're necessarily in that like, oh my gosh, everyone needs to come be on foal watch, you know, kind of time yet. Now, if you were not here for the entire foaling season and you don't know the signs, we watch for when mares start pacing, when their milk turns white, their udder will be like absolutely like explosive sometimes, not all the time. They'll start doing lots of circles. They'll start rolling a lot, laying down a lot, maybe have loose stool. There's lots of things and every mare is different. But anyway, Happy is our last one of the year. So let me know what day you think she will end up giving us the baby. I want her to keep it in. 322 while it's still in the safe zone. It's still a little early. So I'd like her to cook it longer, but 326 is when she had her baby last year. So let me know. It's Friday, and normally on Fridays, 7 would be in Knoxville right now, and Dr. Ursini would be sending me the weekly Baby 7 update with some sort of educational topic. And even though 7 is now in Tennessee, well, he was in Tennessee before, even though 7's not at the University of Tennessee anymore, he's home, we still want to keep the education flowing. So we are starting weekly talks, regardless if 7's there or not, to keep y'all educated and answering your questions. So we are so thankful for Dr. Ursini, for the University of Tennessee for continuing this. So here's Dr. Ursini with this week's talk.
Welcome to Volume 1 of Educational Talks Without 7. We miss him. He looks so happy at home, so happy for him. We'll obviously keep in touch with that, but here we are, embarking on an educational journey together. So this is Rocky. Rocky is just a young guy, and we're going to use him. He's here just for some conditioning. We're going to use him to show you guys some mobility and strengthening exercises we do specifically for the back and the core. So the first one we're going to do is called a sternal lift. And so I usually use just a key, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to choke up on the key. We don't want to be mean or malicious, but just have something that's just a little bit abrasive. Only because I don't have fingernails. So some people with fingernails, this will be fine. A hoof pick or a comb would also work fine. And what we're going to do, we're going to stand at his shoulder so that we stay nice and safe. And then we're just going to use this key to just swipe on his sternum. And you'll see what he's going to do is actually kind of a little crunch here, if he'll stand still. Good job, Rocket. And then we're asking him to pick himself up here. As you can see, he comes in, actually picks his back up a little bit, and does a little crunch for us. The other one is going to be a butt tuck. So same thing, you want to do it on both sides of his butt, and you'll see, if you look at their tail head, you can kind of see a little crease within these muscles here. And so what we're going to do, again, stand to the side so that you're safe, and then just gentle swipes, and you're going to increase the pressure until you get the response you want. So the response you want is him to actually flex here and pick up his back. Good job, Rocket. There you go. Way to go, buddy. And you want to just keep swiping both of those for, again, kind of a 10-second hold. Rocky's not being the best for us today, but you get the idea. The other thing we'll do for mobility, yeah, this is what you're waiting for, are carrot stretches. So as the name implies, we're going to do an active baited stretch. So it's important that we're not pulling them. It's, we're asking him to activate himself. I have your carrots. And we're going to ask him to bend to his elbow. And what's most important is not necessarily just to get there, but we want it to be a hold. Think of this more as like a yoga Pilates type thing. So he's doing great here. He's just gonna come and he's gonna hold and he's gonna lick this carrot for a nice 10-second hold. We're gonna give him a bite as reward. You gotta bite it. There you go. Let him chew that. And then the next one we're gonna do is coming around to his flank, close to his stifle, and again, hoping for a 10-second hold. It's dinner time. This can be hard for some horses, so again, work in progress. And then there's one more that we're gonna ask. Try and get him around as far as he can possibly get to try and reach his hocks. And that's the one that really bends and gets lateral bending all the way through the back. There's a few more we like to do. One is an extension. So again, this nice stretch up as high as he can reach. Yeah, you're being lazy. There you go. So a nice extension, stretch that, boy. And then some coming down this way. So we can come to the chest and we can come down to his knees. I know. And then the really nice one is if we get him down to his fetlocks. Yeah. Good boy. Good boy. Because again, what that's going to do is going to make him do kind of a crunch on his own. So he's going to pick his back up. He's going to engage his core. And you can do a lot of times exactly what he's doing, is that we just kind of let him stay here and eat. Yep. This is a little bit easier if you do it in your horse's stall because they can't escape quite as easy as he is in this big exam room. And he's also just a baby, so he's a little distracted. But gives you an idea. Yeah, more carrots. Gives you an idea of what those exercises can do. Play with them, practice them with your horses. Let us know if you have any trouble with that, and we can give you some tips and tricks. Rocky.
I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know if you have any more questions that you would like for her to deep dive on, or if there's a series you want us to do. But also, I will remind you, there is a link in my link tree at all times. It will be in the comments if this is on Facebook. But the University of Tennessee does such great work, and in their research category, they do have a fund set up. So if you would like to donate in a horse's name, if there is a specific area of research, a specific area of the veterinary hospital you would like to donate to, they have that all set up, and that is the official link. And I'll have that in my link tree or in the comments. So let me know if you have any other questions, and stay tuned for next week's update. We're doing lots of moving around on the mini farm today, and so Regina and Janice are going back up to the front to a bigger grass pasture. Neither one of them need to be back here in the dry lot. Karen and Dolly do a lot better on the dry lot, we've noticed, and so they are staying behind the mini barn. But these two, especially until Janice has to come off of grass, get a little freedom. All right, Missy. We're doing pretty good. They even let us catch them. They weren't wild or nothing. Hello, Seven. Some of your ladies are leaving. Don't get mad. We're getting a new driveway down to the mini pastures. They're doing retaining walls right now, so it's so much nicer walking down here. We're going to go through the goat pasture because it's a little bit quicker that way. Okay, no one pay attention to us, cows and goats. We're just walking through. Janice, you sassy lady with your little mullet. Now, this is about to erupt in grass. We're getting so much rain this weekend. We just reseeded. With that being said, that's not the best thing for mini horses, so we will be keeping an eye on their weight. Like I said, Janice has to come off of grass in like 4 to 6 weeks anyway, so we'll be making sure they don't get too fat over here. I was hoping for some zoomies. I'm not gonna lie, this is a little bigger than the pasture you had back there, girlfriends, and you got it all to yourselves. I might end up bringing Gretchen up here as well. Do you see the moose? I don't think Regina has seen the mini cows. That might be her first sighting of them. What do you think, girls? So much room for activities. There's a cute little trot. They're just kind of scoping everything out. I think Gretchen will end up being a little bit too much for 7 personally. And so I think it'll be kind of like restricting her a little bit too much to keep her behind the mini barn. I think Karen and Dolly will do a great job being his friends. And so I could definitely see her coming into this bigger pasture here very soon, joining these two. Look at that trot. Look at those fancy legs, ladies. Oh, they just saw the little picnic table. I don't think you can climb on that like the goats do. Oh, I think she sees the cows. I think that's what's happening. Regina definitely sees the cows. Ladies, you're creating a spectacle. Janice doesn't quite know what you are. I don't think she's ever seen you. And now we're eating. Best friends. They are good besties because they're both a little sassy. They're both around the same age. I think they'll enjoy this time over here together. Look at them scratching each other. Definitely need to have a little mini grooming session. They're both shedding like crazy. So yeah, to end the day, the goats and the mini cows are over in this pasture. They have access to the goat pen. These two ladies are in this pasture, and maybe Gretchen will be joining soon. Hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for more updates.